Wait for it. Wait for it. FSBRacing.com for Winston Cup 88 Friday night at Kansas Motor Speedway. This is the Aero 88 series in FSBRacing.com. And this is Mel Miller Jr. along with my cohort in crime, the voice of FSB Racing, Greg Bernardo.
Welcome, Milty. Welcome all. Winston Cup Friday nights here at FSBRacing.com. We're here at Kansas. This is, I think, after the fact track, right, Milty? Because Kansas was not on the schedule when the original game came out. So this is a Kansas FSE, Foxtrot Sierra Echo. And it's a sharp-looking track, Milty. And you can see that it's night. It's a night race. Seeing the guys wind down here in happy hour. There's our points leader, the 91 car, Ken Shea. And birthday boy, the 43 car right behind him there, Milty, Rick Bisconner, celebrating, what is that, Milty, you said?
Or 39,
39?
one of the two.
I can't remember. It's somewhere in between 39 and 150.
I'll give you a hint. It's the same number as Ryan Johnson's car.
I'll have to go scramble and look up what that is, and I think we'll find that it's actually, 59er for Rick there. And great way to celebrate your birthday, Milty, with a race win in Victory Circle.
Absolutely, he's a late bloomer into getting into simulation racing, and he's definitely improved over just a few years to a possible race winner and a possible race winner tonight. He could make it the pied de resistance.
Absolutely, and we were watching there Sean Reap going into a down pit lane there. Another I'll call him a pre-race favorite amongst the guys in the garage, eavesdropping in on some conversations there, Milty. I hear
just like I told these boys in the meeting, we don't need anything over the top today. We got a good race car, we got a good driver, we got a good pit crew. All we got to do is just everybody carry their weight. We'll be just fine at the end of this thing. It's fourth.
Dan Irvine.
Dan Irvine, and man, when we've broadcasted, Mr. Irvine has been very prominent so far in our broadcasts, Milty. It's just a matter of time for him, and I think we all know that, and I think the rest of the field knows that too, is that when he puts together a full 100% race, he may be right there at the end, and he looks to me very capable of stringing multiple wins together once he gets on that kind of roll. So we'll keep an eye on him. He's starting on the pole. No surprise, he's on the outside pole. That's the 29 car, defending Winston Cup champion, Jeff Hale.
Are you ready? Gentlemen!
All hail Jeff. Third is Sean Reap, who has, been blasting his engine department. Had several races where he just done blowed up.
Yeah.
And the points leader in fourth there, Skiji, Ken Shea. What a solid season for him, and he's had other opportunities to win a championship, but missed races and stuff. This is really his to lose. He makes these races, and do what he do. He's going to be tough.
I think, he's now coming into this season, and we've talked to him a couple of times already since he's won races, been on podiums, Milty. You can hear him in his, he's long-term thinking in this series.
I want this one.
when we're used to seeing Ken
Real
show
bad.
up in seasons past, he was a ringer, in the field.
Right, exactly.
Everyone had to keep an eye on where's that yellow 91 car floating around because he's a threat. But then, for points, he's not going to race you for it. So now, different mindset for this entire field, including that car right in front of him, Jeff Hale, who's got I think he's going to have a dogfight on his hands the rest of the season. Sean Reap as well, Milty. He cannot afford a 15th place finish in one of these races here, Milty. And we're getting ready to go green. Dan Irvine on the pole, 27 car, looking good in those Miller colors. A couple Miller cars on the front row there, Milty. Miller Beer flexing their muscles as we get underway here.
Old school. You know, for the 27, he showed speed instantly. What he's going to do now is he obviously has a lot of experience. You don't just show up and run well. What he's going to show is some longevity here and execution.
Yeah, absolutely, Milty. And you know, it's possible with some of these. And there's a little spin
he's
there.
sideways. Great save.
But cars
But that
into the wall
puts-
behind him. Mike Sanders
Yep.
bounced off the wall there. Hopefully not too badly damaged.
No room to go there.
Cars scattering everywhere, and that's a huge advantage for, guess who, Milty? That 91 car did not let off the gas. He just got through it all, and now he's enjoying a very nice little cushion here. Now the question is, can the rest of this field gather itself in and try to hunt him down? Because now Ken Shea out to maybe a 1 second lead here. Jeff Hale second. Dan back to third there. Great job, though, still keeping the car straight. Everyone kept it off of the back of his car as well. Just a great job by the entire field there.
Yes, bad luck for the Las Vegas native in the 191, Michael Sanders. He had nowhere to go.
Yeah,
Nope.
you can see the car is pressed in, Milty, on the right side, and we know. And there he goes around. As soon as I was a 360 spin, and he keeps going, Milty. So he's doing a little stunt drive in here,
Joey Chitwood.
and we'll have to. Hard to see the lights sometimes here, but the lights are on, so we do have a caution out. And as soon as the words were getting ready to come out of my mouth there, Milty, I was going to say, I know from lots of painful experience that when you press in that right side by bouncing off the wall like that, your car's going to be push, and then snap loose. And it looked like that's what Mike was fighting right there. He felt it push in, he kept turning the wheel, and then all of a sudden the car comes around on you. And caution is out, maybe a chance for Mike to bang on that car and get it right as well. Kind of an innocent victim there, Milty.
Yeah, at that point of the track, he had no, just one move, and he avoided contact, but then
Full
got
tires, there are a lot of things working against you right at the start of a race there. You have to do abrupt maneuvers with your vehicle. You know, these cold tires do not want to hold the track when you cut the top wheel. And then
a lot of cars down pit road.
Yeah, and Jeff Hale decided to stay out amongst others. So we'll keep an eye on that now. Different pit strategies immediately into this race, just 5 laps in. Sean Reap also in, kind of sneaking by the 91 car there. Ken Shea may have a challenge on exit here, Milty. Ken Soska, our admin there, a little 2-tire action, and he gets out in front of everyone. 4 tires for the 62 car, and it looks like 4 tires for everyone else. We'll have to check on the W7 if he took. Maybe you can look back at Dan's pit stop there, Milty, and see if he took 2 or 4. Dan definitely improving positions there under the yellow. And now the 07 car is slowing down. Possible black flag here for the 07.
That's the end of longest line. He's letting everybody by.
Yeah, so in his exuberance on the 2-tire change, Milty, maybe a couple bucks over the line there. And, man,
I think so. Also, Mark DeSouza got to end the longest line, EOL, as we call him. So, 2 cars got spanked right there. Give him that break the rules.
Other guys coming down pit lane here as well, Milty. Check them. That's the 80 Ed Finley, the 9 of Ken Hansen coming down the second time around.
So, I got distracted there and still trying to see what the 007 did.
Yeah, we just saw the.
Okay, here we go.
Go through his pit, had to back up.
And the Q's in the pit lane right there, you know. a couple of gadgets going into the cockpit of the 007, and 2 tires for the 007, right size only.
Okay, so with Ken,
Do you expect me to talk? No, Mr. Bond. I expect you to win.
so with Ken getting sent back with the penalty, Milty, that leaves the 007 car kind of in an interesting position. There's cars ahead of them. The 59, the 27, and the 29, Milty, no pit for those 3. And then Sean Reap with 4 tires. You have to like Sean's car right now, Milty, on this restart. With the fresh tires.
Don't fear the Reaper. He's blinking. He's got connections issues, and he's in the wall. He actually hit the wall.
Who's that?
Sean Reap in the 62. Now he's coming back up to his stall.
I think you're...
Yeah, that was okay. That was I wasn't live on the replay, but that did happen for him.
Okay, so that we did not see happen. So Sean maybe with some...
He might have some damage. He
good
hit the wall.
Visually, the car looks okay to me. He's sitting in P4 right now. 4 fresh tires on the car. 3 cars ahead of him.
That was a soft little tap. So
and then the
this
07,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, the 007 there, Milty, in P5 on this restart, but 2 tires, and then Ken Shea 4 tires. So this will be
fantastic, man. All
tires,
kinds of strategy.
yeah. Lights are out as well on the pace car, so Jeff Hale's going to lead them down. Now, I won't say surprised, because he's already proven to be a better driver than I, so I'm not going to question his decision making. But Dan Irvine there, Milty, with getting loose there, maybe locking up the brakes just a tick, it looked like, elected to stay out on those tires, Milty. Would you have maybe just come down pit road just for peace of mind?
Absolutely, especially with the pressure of leading the race or being in the top 2 or 3. Of course, I like where he's at better, but the issue is tires. That significant slide there had to do some hurt on those babies.
Yeah, so green flag out, the top 3 again, no tires. Sean Reed, 4 tires in P4. 007, Dan Jones in P5, 2 tires. So lots of varying strategies here as we go up through the back of the field. 007 also on 2 tires got a penalty. Mark DeSenza got a penalty. Ed and Ken Hansen there both pitted later than the rest of the field. And there we see 25 of Slim Jim right in the mid-pack there. 47.
Give yourself a new Slim Jim.
Birthday boy, 43 car Rick Pisciner right behind our points leader. And nice single file restart here. Looks like everyone's off to a good start.
Well, I'm going to the FSB homepage. Let's look at. Okay, let's see if we can find it actually first. Kind of lame, but take a look at the points too. And there's only 15 points behind in P2 Sean Reap, 16 points behind Slim Jim Gately. Ken Shea's sitting in the catbird seat.
We saw the 59 there, Milty, get a little loose on those older tires, and he had to chase the car, and that cost him at least 2 positions now, and I think it's going to cost him more when it's all said and done. So Ryan finding out that maybe it's best to take tires here at Kansas. Jeff Hale out.
Oh,
nice
boy.
Little bump there. But yeah, it looks like
Dan Irvine takes a way different line coming out of the corner there, but I think he's settled in now a little bit, maybe being able to follow a little bit. Just as I say that,
yeah, he got onto that yellow paint.
He's using everything.
John Reap got a great run there as well.
Apron bad. You don't want to hit that apron.
Yeah, and
that's counterproductive.
The pit here. And there's the 007 got loose.
Oh, the big wreck, and Ken Shea is involved also. That was oh my gosh. Look at that hit. and they're upside down around.
And
That took out
91
half
on
the
its
field right
roof.
there. Josh Elliker, all of them behind involved.
Wow, Milty. That's all I got to say to that one. The 007 got loose, Milty, and all hell broke loose after that.
Absolutely.
Let's take another look. It's just see what happened with Dan there. And
Obviously, Q didn't hook him up with the right gadgets there, but
yeah, and you can see it looked like, Ken Shea right on his back bumper there, Milty, and as he swung out, it
yeah, all those
really
cars
looks like
around
the
him
air just
took the
came
air
right
off
the
him.
spoiler. Yeah, it looked like that was a classic. As he moved up there, he just whipped the car around with him, and you could see he got onto the apron and then shot up the track into Ken, who collected Josh as well, and then the 91 up on its roof, Milty.
Yeah, Josh Elliker has retired.
91 up on its roof. Slim involved. Josh Elliker, the 191.
Oh, look
Mike
at that.
Sanders.
Let's get some in-car of Josh Elliker going for a ride there.
The 59 gets
and
roughed up
Skin
just
Shea.
a bit. Pops into the front of
Slim Jim,
007, and wow.
Slim was trying to slow down, but he was on the grass.
Wow, is all I got to say to that one. Let's see if we can locate, and the rest of the guys there.
The birthday boy, he's gone too. There's huge attrition and points implications here.
Yeah, we'll have time here to, yeah, let's ride with the 47 car here, Milty, and see what he saw out his window. And you can see, we'll run it at full speed. You can see how fast it happens. There's no reaction time here. In fact, I'll back it up just a bit more so we can appreciate it.
Exactly. This is how fast they go. Oh man! Whoa, grass, air, grass. Where's my bucket? I gotta throw up.
Yeah, that was a tough one there. Man, and like you said, Slim there, Milty.
I don't. You know, he just had he tried. You know, but I think he might have like little or no damage there. Then you see the presence of mind of the 25. You know, he kind of a mentor to a lot of drivers here, and instead of pulling
the air there from that first impact, and then he's just, as soon as he touched Mike Sanders on the grass, spinning again and backwards. But I have to know how much damage.
But look at this. Look at his presence of mind here. As he starts to go, he sees the 9 Ken Hansen coming. He patiently wait. You know, you got to keep your head. You know, because you lose your cool, and even more bad things are going to happen.
Yeah. Now let's check our running order, and we see that the 43, 007,
that's like virtual.
And 91 are out, Milty.
Yep.
So that took out 4 cars completely. We have to think there's damage to the 25, the 99, the 191, at the very least. I think Ken Soska may have snuck through there, Milty, and Mark DeSenza did as well.
Well, this is huge for Reap and Slim Jim and Jeff Hale. These guys have all missed races, and pretty much everybody has, but there's with Ken Shea out and getting minimum points, this is a huge opportunity for them to close the gap.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And just 15 laps into this event, Milty, so that was one of our biggest wrecks of the season, I think, right there.
I think so.
So let's recap what we got here. Now, John Reap is our leader. Jeff Hale, second. Man, I'm just out of breath here. John Reap first. Jeff Hale second. Dan Irvine now, man, crazy set of circumstances for Dan there, from that first spin to this big wreck, and now with maybe a smaller field.
Well, he didn't spin. He stabbed the brakes there.
Yeah.
I mean, they crashed behind him, but they got his attention. Let's see how he go here. He'd love to get on a podium and in this bad boy.
And we saw Ryan there, who had the old tires, Milty, and bobbled right on the restart and fell back maybe 4 or 5 positions. Now he's back up to 4th from this, so new life for the 59 car as well. 9 Ken Hansen, 6 of Mark DeSenza, 191 Mike Sanders, who I believe was involved in that wreck here. Pace car's off, so Sean Reed's going to lead us down, and we're back under green, lap 16.
Have to see how the 191 handles here. That's twice contact there for that car. Jeff Hale all over the 62.
Wow, and these 3 are really tight here as we get.
And that's how Jeff do. He gets in your head,
like
man. You do
wall
not want guy behind you. It just looks like there's a lot of understeer in the 27 as he comes up on his exits. I was saying that earlier. He's trying to cut the corner down real low, but then he's not being able to get the car to turn.
Yeah, and it seems like there's some immediate, I won't say aggressive racing, Milty, but there's immediate racing here on these cold tires, and you really got to let these tires get up to temp.
Well, that's where Jeff Hale is the best I've ever seen at running on cold tires and getting you while you're trying to save your stuff,
And another guy that runs pretty good on cold tires, Milty. That's the 6 car.
Rocket, Mark DeSenza. We haven't even mentioned him yet. And we're used to mentioning him on pole, Here he is kind of chilling, and looks like 25 still has some speed. We'll have to see how that goes. But
and Mike Sanders' car looks like the crew did a pretty good job of patching that thing together. From his bumps and bangs, he's right on the back bumper of the 27 car in 3rd. So it looks like maybe with these cautions, the 191 crew has had an opportunity to get that car right again for him.
other cars involved in that, and you never know how the damage is going to go. 99 Pops Marguson.
Yeah, and I believe
This car is not. He's in the draft, so.
And Pop's coming off a Trans Am win, Milty.
Had a boy. Kyalami, yep.
So
yeah, man, yeah, absolutely.
The big road rage win there. Pops is a Trans Am champ, so I mean it's not like it should shock anyone that knows.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it's coming back this season, and he's back out there supporting the series, and rewarded with a nice race win there. You can see Mike Sanders now trying to get underneath the 27. Mark DeSenza helping. Slim Jim there as well, sizing everything up, and Mike Sanders spins.
As time went on, I think that damage, he just didn't seem like he was going any faster than anybody else. Thing just snapped on him.
Yeah, it just snapped around hard there. Of course, caution's out. Back to the front here, Jeff Hale taking the caution flag as our leader, lap 22 of 107 here. I believe our 3rd caution already here, so some hard lessons early here in Kansas.
Well, and when you have a track a replacement track, and then never know how guys are going to, deal with the setup. And like you said, you have to just be really careful. It's fast and loose.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right, Milty.
But Mike had damage, so that changes everything.
Absolutely, as the field does come down pit lane here. Jeff Hale, Sean Reap, Dan Irvine.
That's where the pit crews make their money.
See, Slim elected not to qualify, so he has a back stall. Mark DeSenza kind of right in the middle of pit lane, and then we got the top three, 1, 2, 3, Irvine, Hale, and Reap there, 1, 2, 3, and respectively. We'll see who wins the battle of the top three here. Looks like Jeff Hale, of course, was our leader. He's in and out. Now Slim making a nice effort here, and it looks like Slim will take that third position away. Looks like Slim's crew did a
great stop for the
job.
Step yourself into a Slim Jim. Well, I'm going to hit the little green porta potty. I'll be right back.
Like Dan got out in front of the 25 car. We'll check on that. It looks like maybe Dan possibly penalized here. We'll check that as well. Also the 62 car. Let's find him. Looks like he's drifting to the back. So some mistakes on pit lane under caution, and we saw some pit lane violations earlier, and it looks like those continue here. And it looks like the 62 and 27 caught a penalty here. You can see 59 coming down pit lane, lap 24 of 107, so just about a quarter of the, not even a quarter of the way through this race here, and 4 cautions already. Very unusual for these drivers to have so many cautions so quickly and so early in the race. See now as the field has thinned a little, with now Mike Sanders retiring, so really only 10 cars running. Started out with 15 cars just 24 laps ago, and now we got a nice heap of cars on pit lane and in the garage area. But a familiar sight up the front, 29-25 at the front, followed by the 6 car, Mark DeSenza. Pops up the 4th. Ken now up the 5th through the exchange of stops and mistakes here by this field. It's a very Winston Cup Friday night race for these drivers. Wrecks that you just normally just don't see, that really wiped out a good portion of the field, and then multiple mistakes by multiple drivers on pit lane early here, going to the back. So see if these guys can't settle in here on our next green flag.
Yeah, and some of the damaged cars are off the track now, so those are the ones that you probably would figure would be even having more trouble and struggling, Yeah, so these guys are, of course, you're always thinking of multiple scenarios and track position and stuff like that, but it's definitely now it just feels like this could go green for a while. Now you got to get your giddy up on here.
Yeah, the lights are now out on the pace car lap, so we'll be going back green lap 26. Just about a quarter of the way through this race. It's been a long one already, and we'll see if we can get some green flag runs here. And then not that we may know this off the top of our head, but it's a 1.5 mile track, Milty, and we usually see about a 30 lap run.
Yeah, absolutely. 30 to 36 if you were to clutch, and I don't think we're going to be seeing that. So
We'll see Jeff Hale lead the field back to green. Slim second, Mark DeSenza third. And away we go again. FSBRacing.com, Winston Cup Friday nights here from Kansas Motor Speedway. Jeff Hale, our leader. Slim Jim Gailey in second, Mark DeSenza third.
how many times have you said that?
More times than I can count, Milton.
Pops up to fourth there. Definitely gathering it back up. Obviously not too much damage, and he's just run a chill race right now.
Yeah, you just got to let the car come in and then see what you got. You race early on, Milty. We know just from the nature of NR 2003, if you abuse your tires in like the first 5 to, let's say, even up to 10 laps, it can really punish you later, even more. Yeah, as we see some really tight racing here in the back. And
yes.
guys with the penalties, Milty, now they feel a little desperation. With a smaller field, they got to go fast, and now they're going to have to deal with colder tires, passing cars, maybe fighting to pass a car that is fighting for position now. So that'll be interesting to see as well. And moving back up, we see Ken Hansen there right behind Pops. This could be a race for Ken Hansen, Milty. This could fall into his lap.
Just got to think that these guys are like I was thinking as a driver, that now we're the ones left up in the front here, and we've managed to figure it out. So now you're going to start to see some long run here. The broadcaster jinx, of course, but has that feeling, They're backing it off a little bit. Look at the lap times here. See what we got here.
Yeah, we see Pop's best 30.58, last lap 30.67, so about a tick off right now. Little draft plays probably a minor role here as well.
Yep.
As you can see, that's where the draft really comes into play, Milty. As they get into the corner, you can see Pops really seems to gather up some ground on Mark DeSenza there. Then it kind of evens out again.
I just have to think the 27 of Dan Irvine, it just seems like his something in his steering settings with the game or something. Because they're all running, this is a fixed setup league, so they're running fixed setups, and aside from like Trans Am, but his car just seems to really push out on the exit of the corners.
Yeah, and Milty,
he's in line now, so he's kind of pacing with these guys. Maybe he might have just been pushing a little too hard.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. When you push these setups early on in NR 2003, even if it's an open setup, Milty, you can see Dan kind of chasing the car as well. Maybe indicating that he's getting into the turn just maybe a little too hot, Milty. And taking that apron down there, that's a really a thin line there between a quality lap and getting into trouble, getting into turn 1 as well. So,
because it upsets the car, yeah.
Yeah, and you can see he's got his hands full. He's got Ryan Johnson right in front of him, Sean Reap right behind him.
That's a great battle.
So, I mean, it's not like he's on for a Sunday drive right here either.
Absolutely, and he's doing great, and we're so glad he's new in the league. It's still a lot of stud sim racers out there that come and get a piece of this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And new guys too. From the bottom to the top. Get the game, get a wheel, and get busy.
Absolutely, it's still out there. It's still available, and you can see the racing still pretty viable here at Kansas. Nice shiny track, modern looking track, safer barriers, logos. So, you know, it's looking pretty good here. See a nice battle here between Mark DeSenza and Pops. Pops' car seems pretty good, Milty.
Yes, it does.
Again, with the multiple
And they are
cautions.
pushing the 25 here a little bit, really putting the pressure on him. A small gap behind him and the 29, the student and the professor.
Oh, and Mark DeSenza loose there, Milty, and he had to tap the brakes.
Great job, though.
And,
no contact.
And Pops really did a great job there. He really got off the gas.
Backed out of it.
He didn't race him there. He let Mark gather it up at probably his own expense here, Milty, as Pops is going to lose a few positions. But, you know, that's FSB sportsmanship at its best right there, too, Milty. Seeing the competitor a little out of shape and allowing him the, you know, the room to gather it back up.
The 6 gets right back to chugging along here, and he's got right back to pressure in the 25 again.
Yeah, Mark's memory is very short in these races, Milty. He already forgot that happened in that last lap. He's looking at the 25 car saying, what do I got to do to get around him right now so I can get the best? He's already forgot that little bobble there. Ryan Johnson taking advantage of that little mix-up there.
How about that 59?
Yeah, he's come.
Brothers Body and Paint.
And take
Oldsmobile or Buick, yeah. And his son is, we know him as the Kid, you know, and the Kid's not here tonight. Probably preparing for a go-kart race, you know, which he is thick in the points, and watching him on Facebook, and I think, you know, in the heat races like a 4th and a 7th, you know.
And we're really watching this battle here, Milty, the 27-62. Man, Sean, I think is contemplating it in his head. You know, Sean's a very calculated driver, Milty.
Absolutely.
He's just going to throw the car down in there and hope that it sticks. He doesn't drive that way, so.
Well, and
he's confident he can stick it. He'll stay right behind him.
Right
and
there.
Work that bumper and you know, log laps, and you know that's why he's in the point he's in. Back up to the front, Jeff Hale, Slim, and Mark DeSenza still 1, 2, 3. A little gap back to 59 Ryan Johnson, but Ryan's car has really come to life. He's kind of separated from that 27, but with the 62 right there as well, there's a lot of drafting going on, it looks like here.
Well, it seems like the 59 is starts out the gate a little bit slower, and he's maybe those first couple laps saving those tires and not pushing this. I think they're going by the 25 of Slim Jim Gately.
And we can see some battles going on. 62-27 side by side. Put a piece of paper between their doors right there, Milty.
Let's get some main car here, bro. Let's get some main car.
Right in front of it, you see a great battle going on. Let's jump in with Sean here, as he's really battling. Actually, we're in with Dan, as he has his hands completely full.
Dan Irvine in the 27.
He's really not giving the position away here. He's getting a good momentum run on the outside there.
Yeah, take that high line, get out of it a little bit later, and then once you get that momentum coming off, and he's trying to pitch Sean Reed down on the inside, you can see his view there. Plus the spotter is telling him inside.
Right well,
the grip level on the inside and is way better than the outside.
He held off the 9 car back in line, but did give up the position to the 62 there. So Sean Reed up to the 5th position. Dan 6th. You can see Sean's car there, like sketchy as well.
A little war page there, yeah.
Connection snapping. Jump ahead into his car now. You see the top four right there in front of him. Kind of looking at the speeds here going into the turn. Will be over almost 180 miles an hour going into these turns.
Well, you have your routine. You're focusing on your marks as you get through, right here through the kink on the front straight. Then you might glance your mirror a second, then right back to hitting your marks, coming out. That wall comes up, and the visual is from white to blue there, so you know in your mind after a while how you should apex that corner. Here in turn 4, you don't have that, so it's just a feel thing going on there.
And see the speed down the front stretch a little longer than the back stretch. It'll be 182 plus miles an hour. Down the back stretch, we see almost 180, so this is a fast track. Now right on the back bumper of the 59, and we've seen air come off the spoilers before here, Mosey, and I think he's just trying to loosen Ryan up just a bit there to get underneath him.
Yeah, you know, when you see your dash come up and you see the sponsor and in your front window, you know that you're close enough to loosen them up without making contact.
Ryan kind of hard left there. Let him by or not, but
kind of looked like
that position. Maybe that's a better move on Ryan's part than the race Sean right now. And now Sean up to fourth, Milty, so he's on the move.
You gotta know how your car is and how you feel, and the main thing is you want to be in this group. This is the winning group here. Just like Slim Jim did.
Slim in that. Also in that melee there that happened with the cars really battling side by side. Side by side, Martin sends a Slim. Martin won that battle as well. So
pitting this lap. Pops is pitting this lap, so we're in the fuel window.
Yeah, so lap 50, Milty. So this is a little earlier than what I would say is expected to be. But we went green about lap 25 or so. So it's only about 25 laps in.
Keep an eye on the scanner and see if that's just a anomaly or if we're gonna actually have mass green flag pit stops here.
We can see Sean right up on the back bumper of Slim there as he makes a move to the inside, and it looks like that 62 car is on the march now. Got a penalty there, so it set him back to the back of the pack, and now side by side for third, and he's got to be thinking, man, if I just held my position, I wouldn't have to be working so hard to be up at the top three here.
Well, like you said, analytical was the word I would have used, and that's how he rolled, you know. And he's a thinker, and he's really good at long green flag runs.
He's now up to third. Mark sends a second. Jeff Hale continues to be our leader.
Pops goes a lap down and P10 with that stop, and nobody else has signaled yet.
Always a nervous time when you negotiate a lap car or a car just coming back up to speed. Now remember though, Milty, Pops has fresh tires. These guys have much older tires, so speed differential can sometimes be significant. We see some pit stops up, and then Mark DeCenza a little loose there, but gathers it back across the line. Wow.
Signals at the last minute, and they waited to the last minute. Oh my gosh!
We'll follow the rest of the field here. Now that handed the lead to Sean Reed.
Here they come. So Bob's not far off, and he also was able to make a clean stop with no coagulation there. And he's
Now
going to
Sean
have
Reap in.
fresh tires hauling butt.
Man, and he has to chase
Whoa!
that car all the way up to the cone.
These guys were practicing this all the way through, final practice before the race.
And this is a domino effect, Milty. We've seen in weeks past, if you don't pit when the first couple fast guys come in, you're going to really pay the price if you stay out on the track.
Absolutely, yeah.
So now we're going to go back out on the track and see who's rolling the dice here.
And that's the 99 of Pops. Gonna cook with Crisco right now. What kind of lap times?
And it's
He running.
possible here that Jeff Hale may have gotten a penalty, Milty.
Oh, and that kills it.
Sean in and out.
Can still stay on the
out.
lead lap here, though, but he's going to have to serve. Probably going to go a lap down.
Lap 56 now. Sean Reap went in and out. Looked like a pretty good stop. As long as he didn't speed, well, we don't really know if he did or not until...
Don't fear the Reaper. At just time as he goes by there, though, 29's going to have to box here pretty quick. NASCAR will not like that. It will end your time.
Now Slim coming back out onto the track. I don't know if there's been penalties here or what's going on, to tell you the truth. Trying to find our leader. The 80 was showing as our leader. Now Slim is showing as our leader.
He was later stopping.
Now Jeff Hale back into the lead.
Finley up there, but he boxed too.
So Jeff I must have been seeing Jeff just coming out of the pits. I thought he pitted the lap before, so I think it was just I'm a little confused here. But it looks like the 29 and 62 have pulled away from the rest of the field from this green flag set of stops with 50 laps to go now as we cross the line. And maybe just one more stop left in this race if it stays.
Yep. That's what I'm thinking, and it gives you options. You don't have to run it all the way out.
Let's take a look. There's Sean Reap. Back to third place, Ken Hansen, about 2.5 seconds back from those two. And
welcome to FSB Sim Racing pit stops. That really separates them from the boys a lot of time is the execution.
Slim and Mark DeSenza, 4th and 5th, but 4 seconds back now of Jeff Hale. And there's the 27 and 59, Dan Irvine, Ryan Johnson, 6 seconds behind. And then the rest of them, big gap back to 8th, 9th, and 10th place.
And a little contact again for the 27, but still a solid run. It really, just like I was saying at the beginning, really like to see him get a full race in, and he's definitely shown me he's got a serious skill set. Gets these great drivers right there in the mix.
So, what's this green flag stop? It really has scrambled the field, and Jeff Hale, our leader, Sean Reap, right behind him. But then a 3.5 second gap back to third place, Ken Hansen, and he's in a group with third, fourth, and fifth place up to Mark DeSenza in fifth. So those guys are going to have some work to do here, Milty. And now strategy definitely will come into play with, as I said, about some of these guys when they pitted probably had about maybe 52 laps to go, Milty. And if you do the math there, that's only about a 26 lap run.
Well, whether it wins or loses, Jeff Hale loves to watch the rebroadcast Saturday morning with a cup of coffee, and but he would much prefer watching himself win this race. See how it rolls. He's a monster, man. When he's a front runner, you know. My dad was a real race car driver, of course, and he had a couple teammates driving for Porsche. There was one guy that once he got up front, it was all over. Couldn't
Yeah,
get to him a few laps. Yes, one of those guys. He just like Mark DeCenza. Sean Reap is different here though, and he'll race for a second if place. You know, if he can't get it, he won't take that chance. You know, I mean, and you know that's why he does well in points racing. You know,
yeah, I think he'll just now.
but he'd sure like to win this. You know.
Oh, absolutely, and I think his strategy will be to stay behind the 29, stay within pit stop distance of him, get this final stop out of the way, and then, you know, get to business with the 29 car. It doesn't probably give him any advantage right now pushing the envelope. They're enjoying over a 3-second lead from third place, so really no urgency either.
The P3, Ken Hansen, a resurgence this year.
And
A lot of bad luck the last couple years, and you know he's got himself in a position here to do well.
yeah, he's lost a couple positions now to Slim and Mark DeCenza, but that's a 3-car pack versus the 2-car pack, Milty. And can 3 cars run down 2 cars here?
Yes, they can. You know, depending on the situation here. Take a look at the lap times here.
Yeah, we'll follow Slim's deficit. It's 3.2 seconds. We'll keep an eye on that and see if Slim, Mark, and Ken can work together and knock down that number.
Yeah, 10 laps in, Sean Reap last lap, 30.906, best lap 30.4, so half a second. But there's, you know, still running, you know, at a long distance pace here.
And they are maybe making a little headway here as well. Let's check the times again as they cross the line. Yeah, they're picking up, Milty, about a half of a tenth right now. So if they just continue to do what they're doing, they will eat into that deficit before the pit stop.
And then, you know, if it stays green, which it smells green again, got to execute again. Who's going to make it? Who's going to make it?
And we see Sean has kind of fallen a little further back than we've seen, a couple more tenths back. And the deficit to Slim now is only 3.3 from about 3.5 a couple laps ago, Milty. So the group of 3 is making a little headway, and now as they get further apart at the front, that's going to hurt the draft on those 2 guys. Checking lap times, Milty. Sean Reap coming across the line here, a 30.83. Slim coming across the line, a 30.87. So very similar lap times. Sean getting a little win there, but faster than Jeff Hale, Milty, who was at a 30.94. So Slim and company did gain on the leader there. And that's what they're looking at. This deficit has now come down to over 0.3 of a second in the last few laps.
Yeah, and they lost the 9, so in their draft, so now it's 2 against 2.
Lap 71. So now, Milty, let's start doing some math. If you pitted at lap 50 and you wanted to cut this in half and do about 6, we'll put you at 57 laps, 58 laps. So that's about 29 laps, Milty? So that would put us at around lap 79 or so. Losing Ken Hansen certainly has played a role now for the Mark and Slim, with the deficit kind of stabilizing at around 3.3, 3.2. Hasn't really changed much in the last couple of laps now. So now it's going to boil down to this last stop strategies. People are going to run it out to the end, have a shorter distance to run, or you're going to cut it in half and maybe pit a little earlier than you did the last time. A lot of things rolling through people's heads probably right now. Well, don't know if we lost Milty or not, or he's muted, but there he is. He's back.
Yeah, we're back.
But lap 75
little step
now,
away.
So I'd say we're in about a 5 to 8 lap window. Maybe even a little less.
Well, you have draft concerns here, and buddies you've made, teammates, non-teammates. What you gonna do?
I think if you're Sean here, Milty, isn't your kind of fate sealed by what Jeff Hale does? If Jeff Hale signals to pit, you have to pit with him, don't you?
Yes, absolutely.
And if you're Sean, you can't pit without Jeff Hale, because then you're going to come out all by your lonesome. And I don't know if that would be an advantage for him.
Thing is, you need to pit with him, and you got to try to outpit him. But you're dealing with the 29, but you're the 62. So let's execute and get track position. Stay with him and pressure him. There will be no advantage to staying out an extra lap without draft help. You will lose so much time.
And now if you're Slim and Mark DeSenza, Milty, and you're about 4 seconds back, what are you thinking?
Well, should we run it out or pit earlier and have better tires to begin and warmer tires when they come out? You might want to hit it right at the 30 mark, which we're already past, so might want to do it first. Looking at the scanner, nothing yet. So
now
you don't want to get caught up if a caution comes out and get hammered. But to win this race, you might have, unless you're the P1 or P2, you're 4 seconds behind. You gotta do something.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on Slim and Mark DeSenza here, 4.3 seconds behind our leader, Jeff Hale. There's Sean Reap and Jeff.
Or you stay out and concede the fact that you're going to lose time and hope you get a caution, and then might be able to put those guys a lap down, or at least get better track position and better tires.
I think if I'm Slim or Mark, I'm pitting as soon as I know I can have somewhat decent tires and get to the end. We saw Pops going in about lap 25, Milty, and then within 3 or 4 laps, everyone else
Here we go. 9.99, 27, box there.
Okay,
a lot of them are pitting, but not the leaders.
We're keeping an eye on Jeff and Sean there. They're still going around.
Ken Hansen, Ken Saska, the two Kens.
Some of the
down pit road. Great job, both those guys.
Yeah, the latter half of the top 10 now in.
Keep it down. Right at 45 miles an hour, your pit road speed.
Like Jeff Hale's coming in and Sean's coming in, and he had to lock it down there, Milty. I think reaction time there from reacting to Jeff, and Slim and Mark DeSenza tried to pick up a lot
Two
of time
tires,
there.
2 tires for Pops. In the 99, he's a lap down. 4 tires for everybody else. They come out as the other group as the lead
Jeff
group
Hale
comes in,
and
they make it around.
Almost identical stop times there.
That was beautiful for both of them. Their qualifying position and their running position. When you got to go around a car, that's when you really get stressed. You know, you got to nail it, and it's not easy. You park in a parking stall. I got a big work truck, you know, and it's hard. But imagine doing it at 45 miles an hour and slamming on the brakes.
and as you talked about earlier, Milty, the master of cold tires, Jeff Hale, gets out in front of everyone.
I think he is not to be denied tonight, folks. That dude can roll.
Coming back in, Milty.
Oh, and he might have had a penalty. Let's take a look on the scan. Listen on the scanner. He's pitting again.
He's pitting again. Sean Reap not pitting again.
Ryan Johnson, we didn't see or talk about. He's currently your leader.
Yeah, and there's Ryan, obviously on old tires. And looks like he's ready to.
He wants a caution.
Right, and he cannot stop, Milty. He has to go around.
Oh my gosh.
That's gonna really cost him dearly.
Ah! You see how they're pushing it, boy.
And
you gotta.
Man, this really scrambles up the field as well. Let's see when we're watching Sean and Pops here. Pop showing a lap down. Obviously, Sean should be our leader as he come around here. Ed Finley was also not pitted yet, but let's see what happens when Sean crosses the line here. And still showing Ryan in the lead.
Ed Finley in the Navy car pitting.
Yeah, and there is Ed and Ryan now making it into pit lane successfully. We'll go back now to Sean, and now as he crosses the line with these guys in the pits, Melty, maybe we'll see some updating here of the leaderboard. And with Ed and Ryan in the pits, it looks like Sean will be our leader by about 5.5 seconds or so over Mark DeSenza.
Ed got to lead him a lap.
And we see Sean coming up on the back.
That's the Air Force car, actually.
So
I better look at his car here.
With the speeds here, Milty, if you make a mistake, you almost go 2 laps down. And now Sean is showing as our leader. Mark DeSenza is showing second, Slim third.
Air Force for Ed Finley. Yeah, definitely.
So let's find Mark DeSenza. There's Mark. Just a tick over 5 seconds back, Milty, with about 20 laps to go. And Slim is just about a half second behind Mark DeSenza. So a 2 against 1 possibly here for these 20 laps.
29 right there. He's got to be just kicking himself here.
But Sean does have the 29 and 99 for help, Milty. So this is really an advantage for him if he just can stay right between the two the rest of the race.
I'm sure that's what he's thinking.
That's a fortunate outcome for our leader, who had, you know, if he was by himself in the lead here, he may had some concerns. But now with these two cars here running up the speed for him, it looks like he may be able to fend them off here. We'll check the time, 5.1, now 5.16, so he's expanded his lead with this situation, and only 18 laps to go. Yeah, and if you're the 29 here, Milty, you just gotta know that, man, I think I let one slip through my fingers here. Certainly the class of the field tonight led a ton of laps. Definitely led the most laps of anyone in the race as well. So the real battle here, Milty, might be this 625 battle for second and third.
Yeah, unless they get a caution, you know. But, you know, podium would be nice, but these guys are they want second, and right now, Cinza has it.
Yeah, and Slim really hasn't shown any challenge yet to Mark. Still a lot of laps to go. And just that first set of green flag stops, Milty really scrambled the field with Jeff and Sean able to get in and out the best, and then Slim and Mark DeSenza with not the preferred pit stalls, they paid a price, and it set them back to this distance, and they just haven't been able to recover ever since.
Yeah, especially at this track, but most every track, qualifying means something, and that's track position and pit stalls, you know. Obviously, they need a caution here. They praying for one. Pretty much all the damaged cars have, really damaged cars have, and these guys, you know, are gone, and these guys have gotten into a rhythm that we expected throughout the race, but start was definitely chaotic.
Yeah, there was a lot of, we had about 4 cautions in some laps, and since then I haven't really had anything. This is about 70 plus laps of green flag racing now, Milty. And back to our leader, no, not the 29. Yeah, you would expect to see the 29 and 62.
They're lined up like they were,
but the 29 just must have got nabbed for maybe going a buck over the speed limit, and that's all it takes, Milty. A lot of speeding penalties tonight for the field, so a very strict pit lane here in this track, and maybe some hard lessons learned by the field.
well, and you know, the pre-race and drivers' meeting was jovial, but obviously the pressure to execute at a high level was important, and you know, the 62 has done that without, you know, getting a penalty. So that's a fine line, you know. Green flag racing.
See Mark and Slim still together inside of 10 laps now, Milty. If you're Slim, how worth it is second position to you?
Well, you know, I think it's just we've raced each other so long. It's damn important, and I'm going to do everything I can to set you up to do it.
Looks like Mark Senza having a problem here, Milty. Like he slowed just a bit there. I don't know if the car got out of shape or what, but now Slim did get around him, and Mark falling back. I don't know if something.
That could be team orders there, you know. Slim's still racing for points, and Mark is not. So
Have to check with the race director there to see if some orders were given to the two cars there as Slim assumes the second position.
well, the 6 might have just got loose there, but
Back up to our leader. Working 8 laps to go here. Still holding that 5+ second lead.
well, and these dudes are racing for trophies here, man. So I mean, it's not. You and I are teammates, and we've done the same thing for each other if we had to, you know.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And let's keep in mind Jeff Hale, while obviously disappointed he will not win this race, Milty, he's still running 5th here because he's, got ahead of all those lap down cars, and he's ahead of the leader. So.
And he is racing for points too. So.
Right. So a 5th place finish is a 5th place finish. Doesn't matter if you're right in front of the leader or a 1/10 of a second off the leader and finish 5th. You still get the same points. So.
John Reef has been on rails all night, smooth and just hanging back there, and executed those pit stops like nobody's business. And there you have it.
And Jeff is also closing down on the 27 car here, Milty, who is now pulled off the track. I don't know if he just had a problem there or what, but he's stopping the car with 5 to go. It looks like he's going to retire. So, 27 car out of the race. He was running 4th. So Jeff Hale will pick up a position and some points there, Milty, into 4th place for the 29 car. Yeah, I think Mark just must have got the car out of shape, Milty, because he's right back competitive with Slim, and it doesn't look like he's just given up that position. So maybe just car got out of shape there on him.
Okay, some kind of problem for the 27. This screen locked up, and it was lucky for the rest of the drivers that he was able to get off the track before some kind of computer failure for.
That's too bad.
Yeah, that's really too bad. And he gone.
Fall back to 10th, and we'll finish top 10, but he's got to finish top 5. And bad break there, and we'll continue to see our 2nd and 3rd place cars here.
See the skill though, and he can finish and score points well and possibly win here.
We'll go back to our leader for these final laps. Sean Reed, just really a Sunday drive here on this final fuel run here, Milty, with the 29 car falling out with the penalty. Really
I'm sure he's shocked.
The focus and hit your marks and don't do anything silly. And he's done that very well, as he's going to get a white flag coming up very shortly. And one more lap around, and Sean Reap will be our race winner. Just smooth as silk these last laps. Stayed right on the back bumper of Jeff Hale and just said, Jeff, just pull me around the track for about 25 laps.
Yeah, him and the boys will be watching this broadcast tomorrow. Coming up on the white flag. Oh no, that's victory right there. That's it. Yeah, he's your winner. Winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah, and Slim and Mark DeSenza just a couple
and a
tenths
boy
off from each other. Slim 2nd, Mark DeSenza 3rd. Jeff Hale, a well-earned, stuck to it, Milty. 4th place finish, Pops top 5. And there's the
great run for Pops there.
There's our race winner, 62 car, Sean Reap.
pit stops, the defining factor right there. Definitely green flag racing. And burn them off, son. Doing the Polish victory lap. That's what he do.
Little salute to Alan Kulwicki.
Yep. Well, you know, his life plate is full, and he still finds time to race a lot. Definitely impressive young man.
He's coming
Yeah.
off a Super Speedway win as well, so you know, when you're on a roll, you're on a roll, Milty. That's what I remember you saying before. You know, sometimes it seems like you're finished. You know, you're getting wrecked out of every race, and you're just like, is it ever going to end? And all of a sudden, before you realize it, you've pulled off, you know, 2 or 3 race wins across a couple series, and you're right back in it.
And guess where he going? He's going to the victory lane right here.
Looks like he actually knows where he's going too. Follow him, and you see he's behind the crowds there, the large victory pit lane crowd.
Wow, boy! Woo! Victory lane.
There he is.
And a boy.
So congrats to Sean. Here's our runner over, our top 15, Ken Shea taking a hit. Milty, he's going to finish last in this race.
Yeah, it wasn't a good hit either.
Indications there. Yeah, and it literally and figuratively there, Milty. And Josh Elliker, Rick Viscona all caught up in that big wreck early on. Mike had just no luck today, smacking the wall, trying to avoid that first wreck. Went downhill from there. Dan kind of struggled on those early runs, restarts for tires, and finishing 10th, and then had some kind of glitch there at the end. And there's the rest of our guys that were running. Ed Finley 9th, Ken Hansen 8th, Admin Ken Soska finishing 7th, Ryan 6th, and then top 5 for Pops, Jeff Hale, and then top 3, Mark DeSantis Slim in 2nd, and our race winner, Sean Reed. So we'll gather them up and have a little chat with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that race, you know, started out very choppy. Lots of cautions, big pile up. One, like I said, I think maybe our largest accident of the season, taking out quality cars, including our points leader, and then settling into about an 80 lap green flag run, separated with 2 green flag stops. And man, pit lane claimed a lot of victims, most of them under yellow, so they survived it. But a couple under green were fatal, and Jeff Hale took a fatal bullet there on the end. And that opened the door for Sean, and he did the exact right thing in that. He managed the car. He didn't try to do anything silly. Stayed right behind Jeff as he served his penalty, and just maintained that nice 5-second lead the whole last run, and a very impressive win there at the end, Sean. Congratulations.
Thanks, bud. Yeah, I kind of got that one handed to me. Right place, right time. Yeah, I tried to give it away. Had an eventful night. I almost spun one of the early restarts. I stopped short in my pit stall. Then I sped on the way out under caution. Got put to the back of the field. Worked my way up through there. At one point, I dropped to desktop because I accidentally hit the shortcut key to bring up the calculator rather than switch channels. Fortunately, that had to happen under caution. Managed to not damage the car. But yeah, the pit stops were the key there. Me and Hale were checked out together, and I thought, man, how am I gonna beat him? And then I got a gift.
Yeah, we were thinking the same thing. that 29's on rails, man.
Yeah,
He
Hale is fast at these 1.5 milers. I mean, he's bad fast. These are his house, and with nobody to draft to help me, I got nothing for him. I was ready to settle in for a second place.
Well, you were right there, so it obviously put enough pressure on him for him to make a mistake.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for him.
Yeah, we saw one there. Of course, not on the track, on pit lane, and yeah, so that knocked him out. And that, Slim, man, that was an eventful race. We rode with you during that wreck, Slim, and we saw you. It looked like the car jumped up in the air from impact, then came down. Then you were hard on the brakes there in front of Mike Sanders, and just a little love tap there sent you spinning again. After I got done throwing up from your point of view, how was the car after that?
Car was pretty fast, but it was just too loose for me. I was really struggling on the entries, especially in turn 3, and that's what was really killing me. I don't know if I had anything for Mark, Sean, or Jeff, but I definitely didn't like that, But hey, I'm happy with second place. No complaints here. Congrats to Sean. Good job, Mark.
Thank you.
Yep. Good job, guys. Good one, Sean.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then we saw the two of you battling there, Slim, Mark. And Mark, did you get a little out of shape there at the end to give up the position, or what was going on there?
No, I just I had a little damage as well, and I just didn't really know how to race. But he was faster, and then at the end I was a little close. But no, there's not much I could have really done.
Yeah, I said like in the broadcast team orders, but I was thinking more like, actually like, hey, you're faster, I got damage,
Well, that's kind of what I did for him when we came out of that last pit stop. I let him by, and I figured he was just letting me back by so he could pass me good for real,
Yeah, well, that was they kept it entertaining, and when we saw that Ken was with you initially there, we thought, well, maybe those three can run down the two, but once Ken dropped off, it looked like it kind of just evened out the lap times, and without a caution there, it looked like you guys were just having to just keep it rolling there and hope for a mistake or something.
Yeah, that definitely killed us when Ken dropped off. I'm not sure what happened to him, but yeah, we were gaining about a tenth a lap, maybe a tenth and a half, and we might have caught him toward the end of that run.
Yeah, so other thoughts on this track, guys. We saw a bevy of pit lane speeding violations, and it seemed like you were saying there was some real cold tire issues that we saw, which really contributed to those early cautions there. Once the car got rolling, though, how did the car feel to you guys?
Car actually felt tight once it was warmed up, but those cold tires, we try to make it pass slow, it gets sneaky loose on you, and that's why people kept losing it. You don't expect that because it's so snug otherwise. And yeah, this is one of those tracks that is a real stickler on the pit road speed, so we always get a ton of speeding penalties here. Mark gets a speeding penalty every race, so that's nothing new.
Yeah.
But
I hit 46 once, and they nailed me.
Yeah.
We call you the analytical one, and Sean, and you definitely you were analytical tonight, and you didn't push it. You slowly worked your way back up, and then you just executed great pit stops. They weren't.
Yeah.
You weren't taking. You weren't laying about. It was. They were good stops. So they put the pressure on these other guys.
Well, Ken Shea unfortunately had that misfortune early in the race, so I knew I was going to have a good points night. I hated to see him get caught up in that big wreck. But
yeah, right.
Well, really, you don't want to see anybody get taken out like that. But I knew that I just had to keep the car under me, so I didn't panic when I got my speeding penalty, and that ended up helping me because I saved the tires and made a good run of it.
Well, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but the Sean that I saw when I first came back, That's a whole different Sean than than what I remember. Dude, you become quite the racer, man. Really.
Thank you. That means a lot coming from you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I think we can.
We have some issues getting the points here. I was going to bring that
Yeah,
up.
it's broken again.
SLM might be down here, so but yeah, it seems to me, especially in this series, guys, that when you see someone show up consistently, you just see that rise in better finishes, and all of a sudden maybe leading a lap here and there, and then and we've seen that with like Rick Bisconer. We've seen that with a lot of other guys who really have pushed this series. And Sean, when you're showing up every week, that just going to make you better and better each week.
I know what clicked too is I was pushing too hard to try and get that first win, and I finally got it last year. And I just chilled out and started letting the race come to me, which is only what I've known for the last 15 years. But just like the kids, I don't listen to myself.
Yeah, you're quite the organizer with your family there, and definitely you organized this race tonight. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. So congratulations to Sean and Slim and Mark. Great finishes there, salvaging some points.
Yeah, great run, guys.
Yep, good job.
Appreciate it.
And another event in the books, Milty. And looking forward to next week's event, and keep moving on here. I think we're week 7.
This was 7.
Yeah, week 7 in the books. So closing in on that halfway point of the season, and with Ken Shea there finishing 15th, certainly points implications come next week. When we'll be able to go over that, maybe pre-race when we come on next time.
Yeah, Shea had the same mindset as Sean did. They were just chilling there as these guys did. Just bad luck for him tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right, guys. Well, congrats again, Sean. And
Thank
Milton,
you.
as always, a pleasure doing business with you. And we'll catch you on the next one. FSBRacing.com. Come check it out. Get some. Lots of series running Monday through Friday.
Sunday.
Sunday evening.
Sunday.
I mean, it's all over the place here. So come check it out, and I think you'll like what you see. And again, congrats, Sean, and we'll catch you on the next one.
All right, thanks, guys. Thanks for broadcasting.